Oof, good call. Thanks, Techmilla. I didn't have my sound on. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Club. My name is Darren Hancock, and we are here Friday the 24th of January. Thanks. No sound. All right. Can you hear me now? No audio. Well, good morning, you guys. We've come all the way back down to the order block here, right on the money. So I think we're going to revisit this rejection block at least, or 25% of that wick, that large up close wick there. We've gone past the mean threshold of that order block, so I think there's more upside in the works. So we're going to wait for the open and then the run for 10 o'clock. You're all good now? Excellent day. Okay. Let's look at all of them. So we haven't quite hit their rejection block on the NASDAQ. We've come all the way down to the order block, bearish order block here on the body. E-mini S&P, it's revisiting that on the daily. We took out yesterday's high. There's today already, this morning. I'm just looking at wicks and stuff in here in terms of percentages. We are in okay. So of that wick, the largest wick there, we traded over 50%, came all the way back down to this candle's high, and then we're above 50% again. So, and we've already cleaned out the high there. Not quite sure on that one from the daily perspective. From candle, we'll have to go down to the lower time frames and see what we find. And the Dow, messy Dow. That's just it's hard to find one in here. Okay, right here, back to the breaker. Last up close candle here before a run below these lows and these lows. That there's the breaker on the Dow. To come back into that. We've tapped it a few times, dug into it on the body. Now we're up into the rejection block. We haven't validated this candle yet. We haven't validated any of those candles in there yet. Oh yeah, we did with that one. And we have with this one. And they're overlapping, so No idea where that one's going. From a daily perspective anyway. So let's get down to NASDAQ again. We've come back and filled this on the 5-minute. Right to the rejection or the inversion fair value gap here. Let me see. Let's start going over to Dixie. Clear my head a bit here. Daily fair value gap. We're still inside that. No real body above. Still inside the daily here. Mean threshold. Looks like we've gone through that twice. Look for a return to the weekly inversion fair value gap one more time. And the mean threshold, they overlap. So we're looking in here right now. Then I got not much. Then I don't know where, so we're back into that order block there once we get into here. That won't, so that means if we get down, we'll have a couple of up pushes. So look for a run above these highs, or at least a rejection block on this thing. Today. So look for that to take out get back into this consolidation, mean threshold. So if the dollar goes down, Canadian dollar will go up. That means this will go down. That hasn't been filled yet down there. You might get a bump back up into here. You're going to get above 50% of that wick. Equal highs there. Bouncing off that inversion now. You between those two, I don't know where to go on that. Well, you're between that order block now and old high. This is an oil trade I took this morning. Oh, I took that yesterday before I went, or last night before I went to bed. Loaded on again this morning and got out below that low. And then gold. Anybody's into gold. Dollar goes down. You could be looking for reaching back up into this premium array here for gold. if you're into banks. Those are all Canadian banks you aren't interested in. And these are all supposed to be stocks. Anyway, let's get back over here. All right. Good morning, Derek. Be in and out bit this morning as we plan our last day, San Diego. Have a great day. Whoa, yeah, enjoy San Diego, my friend. I hope the waters have receded and you can enjoy yourself. I don't know, what's the weather like down there? You guys getting a lot of rain still? Right back to that little tiny imbalance there. You see that? Okay, focus, focus. Where are we going today? We've got this order block here, which we've already tagged. We have the rejection block at 17,630. There's a new little imbalance going on in here on the daily. Morning, AB. Rain is gone. Nice days ahead. Was nice yesterday and today. It's going to be the high 60s, so short weather for us. Nice. Yeah, we're up to the plus. We're up to +4. So it's going to be slush town out there. It's like walking around in a Slurpee. Beats the 20s in Pennsylvania right now. 10 a.m. news. I noticed. So caution. Yeah. Yesterday we booked our trip to Hawaii. We're going to do a cruise around the islands. We're taking my parents with us. My brother and his wife are going. My wife's dad's coming. We're taking our parents. My parents have never been to Hawaii. My mom loves watching surfers. So, and my dad's always wanted to scuba dive in a tropical place. And he's 83 now. So I'm super excited. I took him we went to Cuba years ago. I guess he was back in his 70s. And we did some scuba diving there. It was so much fun. See the expression on his face. We didn't give him enough weight. So I was scuba diving with him like he's a little balloon I was carrying around with me underwater. I was holding onto his ankles so he wouldn't keep floating to the surface. I had to keep pulling him down. It was so cute. It's my dad balloon. So it'll be nice to get to Hawaii, and if we can get him underwater there and do some little shallow diving, reef diving, I think he will be super content. I think that will tick off one of his major bucket lists he's had his whole life. And my mom loves watching surfers. You can watch them for hours. So Hawaii is supposed to have some really nice surfing there. So, and she loves waterfalls. So I'm a big fan of volcanoes. So everybody's going to get ticks on their bucket list this next couple of months. I hope everything's going well with your brother or your son there, Derek. Hope you guys are having a great visit. All right, so we just swept these lows here. $21. So it is a potential swing point time. Keep an eye on this fair value gap. We want to lose this upper PD array here. So if we just come back to the bottom of this, we have still further drive down. Looking again back for a revisit of this order block, or come back into this, taking out the low of the week. So we'll see if this order block's mean threshold gives way. We've come back into this order block here, so revisit. And extend the range down further. Right to 50%. See that right off of here? The higher PD array is up here. And we're dipping into it now. Love Hawaii. Did the underwater scooter. It's the best thing in my whole vacation. Underwater scooter. Was that like a... Is it one of those little... Like a little torpedo thing you hold on to and it drags you through the water? And my boy is good, doing well, and enjoying his 2 weeks off before shipping out. Yeah, I bet he would. Gotta love enjoying his family for 2 weeks before he gets back to business. So look at this order block here again. We've already wicked through it once, so it's not as strong for me. We're back. We got up into a premium array there. Catch a short, run for the lows, take out, extend that range again a little lower. Watch this order block here. Unless we're just coming down to this one and we're back inside this range still, and we're going to work the higher PD array one more time. So bodies of the candles are respecting the mean threshold. It's holding. We've wicked through it. So it starts to lose its value for me when you start to wick through it enough times. It starts to eat up that order block. But the bodies are still respecting that mean threshold. Looking for this mean threshold to hold price now. It's the last up candle before a run below this little low here. So we're expecting this to provide a level of resistance. So it's bouncing off of it, now coming back into an order block off the 50% of the range. Inside this inversion here, we've got a body that trades above it. Find support here. You're really between the discount array and the premium array. Like there's lots of arrays, obviously, but just ones that for me have the biggest pull. Minutes before the open. Keep in mind this low's been taken. Low's been taken, high's been taken. We've worked both sides of the market now. This low's been taken over here as well. But for me, we still haven't hit that rejection block up there. I still think after this big push up, we should get one more wick up in here. So eat through this. I'm looking up here at 1763.1. I'll just put a little line there as a upside thought for the day. Short-term objective, I think. So get a body above, find a level of support here. Next minute or so, we'll see this start to really push up, we're hoping. See that body above? Whoosh. There's our open. There's the gap. Let's take our senior Fibonacci. All those people that were trying to follow a trend line here just got roasted. Quickly rip back there and take them. right off the top of the inversion. News events. Opens. Let it settle out a little bit before you decide to jump in. Is the bias down today? Kind of looks like it might be. Yeah, provides you with oxygen. It's called the Island Water Sports in Honolulu. I think so too, Derek. Oh, you guys think it's down, do you? You think it's down? Well, we'll see when all these wicks settle out here. There's our little line in the sand. Still looking for this to provide support. All the shenanigans happening here. And we've got more shenanigans for the next few minutes. This is the Crazy Ivan. I don't know why I'm affectionately calling it the Crazy Ivan now. I think it's probably because I have to try and etch it into my mind that at this time of the day, the bottom of the hour, you can get these little poke backs, look back before it continues in. I'm thinking up, you guys are saying down, so this may be the reverse Crazy Ivan maybe. Maybe we're looking this way to turn this way. We'll see. We'll see how it kind of stretches out at 10 o'clock. I don't know, but I like the Fair Value Gap below price, 15-minute chart, 17,586, at least sometime this morning. Yeah, I think I'd like to see it come up into here for 10, reverse, and then come back down for the rest of the day and get back into your lower stuff. But I still think there's an upside objective that hasn't been hit yet. On the 15-minute chart, you're talking, hey? Down here. Yeah. So we have to lose this consolidation. We've come back into 50% of the consolidation here. See that? Even with this big fancy wick down, 50% of that consolidation, and now we start to move up. So if I lose this, upside is going to be taken, or further upside. I mean, looking for the rejection block, as it were. If you lose 50% of this consolidation and we start to go below this order block here, then look for these lower time frame objectives. You guys would be right. More downside. So mine's hinging on this, yours is hinging on this. So we're back up to the breaker here. This guy's been beaten up quite a lot already. It's been ripped through. The inversion gap went straight below it, popped through, up into it, and down. 36. This is the shenanigan Crazy Ivan moment. Take these lows one more time. All right. That's through the mean through. Let's tap through the mean threshold there. Yeah, I think you guys might be right. Gotta lose that on a close though. 38. If this candle here is not the low, then I'm with you guys now. We're definitely below that, so looking for potential downside. We'll see how this candle ends up for me. See the swing low? That minute candle? That's what I want to hold the low. So if we keep blasting through this thing, that's the crazy Ivan for me. It'll all hold on whether or not this candle holds price. See how 25% of that regular trading hour gap. Now I want to see this start to really grow some legs here. If I'm right, I want to see this really start pushing, and this crazy Ivan look here is the turn at the bottom of the hour. And I want to see it start pushing through here now. It's got to get through this candle here though, or my theory is wrong. Yeah. Morning, guys. Morning, Cody. We're probably going to take that this week lower at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm in undecided land now. I want to see this run up and tear through here to support a higher run right now. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle of this. Off these inversions, they're just not even of any value to me anymore. looking at this guy here. And that guy there. We got to blast through here. All those wicks, not a good sign for me. But as I'm often wrong, it could be a hint that it will do the opposite. Well, if I go into a trade here long, Derek, you should be able to get your short. So now we just keep hitting that breaker. I want to see it really push through that candle, otherwise the idea of my crazy Ivan starts to drop off precipitously, as Michael might say. I'm not even really focusing on the candles here now. I should be focusing on these it's an inversion. The fair value gap now has come down, filled it. Come on, give me a runner now. Next couple of minutes we should have a turn point here, so I was expecting this to kind of give me a lift before this time. This is the turning times that start to happen around in here. We get some swing points happening. So the next minute, we'll see what happens. Kind of like when I told you guys that was the last minute. I needed that to hold price and then start returning. And the next minute, and then 3 minutes after that, we should be expecting some turns. Then the macro begins, and that macro is what I'm looking for to run up here. Here's the swing. So the next candle should be an up candle. Creating a swing in here, or here, wherever this one ends up. Not happening. session. This up candle, I want it to be starting above here and leave that as an open. So 48 now. We're inside this range here, banging around. So we're not extending anything really. So the next 2 minutes. Lori, good morning. Always. Morning, guys. Hope you're all well. Dow is about to take the high of the week's SMT. If we take this low here, Derek, I guess I have to give up my idea for a long. Let's just see. It's just working it back and forth here now. It's waiting for the 10 o'clock. Do we run down here at 10 into your fair value gap and then start pushing back up, or do we run back up into this breaker here? It would make sense to take this low out for 10 o'clock news hour, like a big rip down and then take back off up. So when the news release, we'll watch to see the first initial response. Is it down? Then we have this false run up and then the drive down, or down, vice versa. I'm waiting for an ETF in Canada that offers 15%, I think it is, as a dividend to take out a low. I'm going to buy that one. Just back and forth in here, hey? Here's 50, the start of the macro for 10 o'clock. The spooling shall begin. if she spools. Yeah. Relative equal lows, they're not going to leave that untouched now, so I fought a valiant fight for the long. Don't know why I still think it's going to go up there to that. Maybe later. I still haven't taken my low. Yeah, it's going. I tip my hat to you, gentlemen. So I'll look for these lows here and the 15-minute fair value gap below. The macro has begun. The spooling has begun. So we're through 50% of that. We've just taken out that low. Return to the original consolidation down here. One, two, three. Yeah. Break a low. One, two, three. No, we got this guy to fill here yet. Fair value gap here. Breaker here. We're just reacting off that breaker now. $25%. See that? I think that's for more weakness if you hit 25% or less and you don't close above it. Don't close above the 50%. But I think you mentioned something about weakness is found if we just come up to 25% and start to lose it as a sign of weakness, like 25% of a wick. was so confident. I had a micro on it to get to 15,518. Well, it paid off, my friend. Good for you. $17,518 knocked out a whopping $80. Well, there you go. $80 is pretty good. That'll take your son out for coffee. So we took a low out, a significant low out before 10 o'clock. Let's see what happens here for a silver bullet. Yeah, I'm looking back at this now, and it makes sense that it would look for a 10 o'clock run, right? I was going with the specific time of day, that night, 3:30, or at the 30 hour, and then the 37 to 38 minute shenanigans that occurs at the bottom of the hour. So there's your 30, or right here's your 30 right here, 32, 34. That was the crazy Ivan I was expecting for 36, the 36 for 6 to 8 minutes. And that was the look back. And that's the upside I was looking for. But I had to lose this to be more confident that it was going up. So when it was bouncing around in here, I was like, yeah, not good. But that was the one I was mentioning. So I'm glad you made some cash off of it, Derek, and whoever else was picking that short for those lows. Makes sense. Good for you. I see it now. I can't marry some idea that Michael hasn't taught. I was just something crazy. Ivan is just something I've been looking at over time. That there's shenanigans that occur at the bottom of the hour and within 6 minutes at the bottom of the hour. So. It's obviously not 100%. We'll have to call this the Crazy Ivan epilepsy. He just keeps going back and forth, twitchy. No offense to my epileptic friends out there. Okay, so 10 o'clock, 10:01, fair value gap beforehand. Now run up. I'm going to try a buy here. Inside this fair value gap, I'm going to go with the stop loss down here. Oops. Where did that go? I guess I'm married to the idea of it going higher. If that's the silver bullet, great. If I'm wrong, then and I'm basing this on the fact that we've taken out a low and then we've done 3 pushes down. We have a fair value gap that forms right at 10 o'clock. Back and fill a fair value gap. Silver bullet set up. I usually like to wait till 10:10, 10:12. If we keep revisiting this order block, I'll get out before then. I want to be just below that mean threshold there. Back into the wibbly wobblies. This is just high resistance in here right now. Well, like they say, some marriages end in divorce if you're married to an idea. Crazy fool. No, just... take your legs. Oh, fuck it, I want to modify it. Son of a bitch. Just close me out and put me out of my misery already. Oh shit, no, I just closed that. All right, I'm going to shut up. Derek, you run the show. Yeah, there's still liquidity down here, so... Oh, let's just wait. Well, now you've seen Darren in a train wreck on a Friday. So I'm moving to the sidelines. That's enough hits for me for the day. remove, remove. Did a surplus charge on the regular meal price, not on the menu, but on the bill, which is another tick me off moment. Just amended to pay for increased wages. Wow. Inflation and other additional costs, so nuts. They can make their menu price whatever they want. They add a surplus on it, whatever they want. Wow. So you can buy a burger for $15, but in the end it's $19 because of the taxes and the surplus thing they add. Wow. $1 fair value gap, but I'm not sure if it will be down or once it hits the order block there. Yeah, I'm not getting turned on to this going higher till we clean out this high here. We get through all that messy consolidation. Our friends over on Dow, how did they do today? Discount array in that range. What's Dixie up to? Still going there. So here's your 10, 7, 10. That could be technically my wick for the hour, and that silver bullet entry here instead of here, or there, or there. Depends if you go with the earlier silver bullet. So there was the 9, 10. You got little gaps in here. to go short. Hit those, so you can either continue down now that we've traced all the way back up to that one at 10.04. Then you got a fair value gap forming on this side. So is this one of those, they used to call them the island reversals? I'm not gonna even tempt it because there's one, you could consider that the same thing right there, but it didn't, it didn't reverse. So we'd have to get above these order blocks up high here in order to, and I've been bitten 3 times today, so I'm out. And all that 10.07. Trend line phantom. I want to see break in market structure to the upside before you. You just look at the continuation on that little trough. If you're looking at retail thinking, we're in that trough line going down. So we got to break out of that at some point. We've come back to a logical level on the hourly for a discount. .75% retracement right there in a discount array. And here I was trying to argue off of the 50 point, and this down here, there's some beautiful arrays. No excuse for that. So you want to see this this candle's mean threshold and break that high. Start blowing that trend line out. The phantoms that are on. It's an interesting psychology right now. Just trying to think about what's going on in my head. I'm not following my focus is not, it's scattered. I'm all over the place here right now in my head. I'm not calling every candle. I'm not focusing on every little nuance. Gotta try to get my head in here. Alright, let's focus here. Look at this candle, midpoint. On that candle's midpoint. We have a inversion here. Or not inversion, we have a fair value gap that hasn't been filled yet. That for me is the silver bullet after 10:06, 10:07. That first 5 minutes is like the wick of the hour. If this is the wick of the next, of the 10 o'clock hour. Again, I still look to go up, but I'm not going to marry that idea anymore. So I'm just going to wait and have a look. We got to lose this candle for that idea to continue. Otherwise, we're going to lose this one to continue down. And there still is more. The fair value gap down here is still original consolidation. So we could do another push down. We have a fill of it now. See how high resistance can be so choppy, can beat you up pretty good. These false ideas of these swing points. The three Indians pattern. I'm not sure if I've seen if you see the three Indians pattern, but I'm not sure where. I think it's when you take out a low, you get a drive up 3 times and then the reversal. Not that that's 100%. That's just a recognized pattern in the retail industry. If any of you guys know, you can make a comment on there about the three Indians pattern. I'll have to go into that AI and see if I can find it where Michael's talked about it, just to make so I have it clear in my head. So what you're saying, Derek, is we need to save up for a lot of money to come down there and just buy a burger. It's a good thing we're going on a boat cruise. We're only in Honolulu for a night. We have to eat a lot of nuts on the plane, is what you're saying. Hits 560. You're looking for a return to the regular trading hours gap. AB. Really choppy here. So you want to see this, if you're going in for a silver bullet entry, you want to see it really take off. So whether you're short up here at 10 o'clock and 10:04, whether you're short there with your stop loss sitting up there and you want it to take off down, or you're long here and you want to see it get above these highs and start really climbing, you just get this mashing around idea. So I don't like trying to pick one inside a consolidation. Usually when I get it on a breakout, or when it's clearly taken out a low at 10 o'clock or a high. So that's the idea I would typically take. I haven't waited for. I've been quite impatient with my entries this morning and basing it off of my own wacky theories instead of the logic that Michael's been teaching. So that'll be a journal entry. We have a break-in structure now. Another break-in structure. That's the silver bullet. Now we're going to get my, this is where the patience would have come in had I just waited till the 10, 10, 10, 10, 12 that I've preached so many times. That was the silver bullet. You're scaling out above these highs. And again, I'm still not giving up on the idea that daily rejection block is in play. Well, there's your 560 AB. I've been moving that sucker right in there to stop loss. It's good. Impatience. Wait for the more logical setups to occur. My journal entry for the day. So now we get a break in structure. We have a fair value gap forming in here. Now you want to see this provide a level of support here. Now, I guess it can come back into here. You want to see that continually push up. So here's your 17,560 AB. Good call. Then down. So if we lose this now, then we've just returned to this breaker, that last up close candle before we run below these lows here. We've come back down and tagged it here. So if we lose that one, in other words, if we lose this inversion here, then we're back to down, back inside that I don't know situation again. But now we've got a body that trades above this with a fair value gap. Return to it. That's more upside for me now. But again, I've been wrong most of the morning here now. That's one of those ideas you marry it. I married it through thicker and thin. That's one of those marriages you got to stay in through sickness and health, goodness and bad, richer, definitely poorer, and then you weather the storm. And on the way out, I might get my vindication, but I get it as a single man. I went into marriage. There was a lot of communication problems. I got divorced, gave up the boat. She came back for the dishes. Then we made up. Now we're dating again. She's taking me out for dinner because I have no money. I'm apologizing profusely for my poor decision making. I see it. It's right there. The whole divorce that happened. What did Michael say about it? Anyone know? No, I didn't even look to see what Michael said this morning. Oh, he said, so honey, no charts. Oh, she's coming. Be safe. He takes off. All right. We're in love again. we've made up, we've kissed and made up. Should have just waited for my moment instead of you dicking around in here. Okay. At least this silver bullet here at the 10:10, 10:12 time, I would be like slamming that sucker up tight now, boy. I'd be keeping my money. But I said I wasn't going to trade after 3 hits unless I find something that's this was a definite trap. This is one of those, does this dress make me look fat? And you being honest? You don't want to be honest. It looks beautiful. You look beautiful all the time, doesn't matter what you're in. That's the trap they set. Anyway, that's the run. Now, look for this guy here on the hourly to fill. You guys are slowly here with me working out my patience issues and my little head, getting into my own head. And you can see I was marrying an idea there, and it was enough to take me out. And I wasn't looking for discount or raise in higher time frames. I was merely trying to trade off of a minute by minute moment idea instead of waiting for the typical setup to occur at a PD array that supports price at a specific time. Time, price, blah, blah, blah. Okay, lesson learned. Or is it? So now if you are going long here, good for you. That's that trend line phantom done. Okay. Oh, almighty silver bullet. You want to close the regular trading hours. You have kind of like locking all the doors before you go away on vacation to somewhat self, which is what I think it wants to do. You think so now, hey? I would be trailing my stop loss up on this mofo just because I wouldn't want to lose my profits. Look for this high right here on the 1 hour to get taken out, and then the mean threshold of that candle, 17,621. We're inside that inversion fair value gap. Well, we came up, tagged the inversion fair value gap there, so you want to see it drive through it. Well, I want to see it drive through it, get through that inversion on the hourly, and then get on top of it and continue climbing up for the daily, my daily objective. So for those who want to go short, you want that to provide a level of support anywhere inside there. If you lose this inversion fair value gap, short people, then your objective may not be so you want to see that tag that, or just pop into it, clean that high out, and then come all the way back down again for those of you who want to continue down into that lower time frame objective. I'm going to try and keep my opinions to myself now because I've been wrong several times today. Well, more than several times. So we're coming up to fill that gap Derek was mentioning. If this complete fill here and then reverse, come back down. Cut into the rejection block on the hourly there. Back to the inversion on this side. I can move all these up here now. Look at a discount array. Is there another one here? Ignore the first one, take the second one. There's that fill. What time does that? What does that go to? What's its high? 17,585, 17,585. Yeah, right there. So, two fair value gaps in a row. Skip the first one, take the second one. Bodies are still respecting the inversion. So you want to see this climb up on top of this now. Get a foothold. And start running for the top of that gap there. apologize. I'm not really calling this candle by candle right now. My mind is clearly not focused this morning, so I apologize for that. Back to this order block here. Inversion. You want to find some support here. Push up for here. Okay, Lori, take care, my friend. Have a great day. So now we've taken out the highs. I'm curious now. I want to see pretty close to my objective, if that's the next price leg up. I'm just curious. Don't listen to me. So we filled that, took that high out there. So we filled in the rest of that regular trading hours gap. This is the reversal that you guys were looking for, or Derek was mentioning. So we need to get below this, come back into it. And we create another fair value gap here. So far we're respecting that, staying inside it. Kind of holding the price up right now. All right, so we have another little fair value gap sitting right here. A little imbalance right there. Right up on the mean threshold of that order block. You see it close right through there. So you want to see your footing hold on the top of this inversion here now. You get through this rejection block. That's what we're looking for. And a continued push up. Well, that's what I'm looking for anyway. So we're into the rejection for sure. 50% of that wick. I want to close above 50% of that wick. Just converted the 15-minute into a fair value gap inversion. This one here, yeah. Thank you, Tech Miller. That is now an inversion. We've actually popped above it now, so that converts as soon as that candle's finished, then that becomes inversion. Because we're trading through it now, but we haven't really closed above it yet, so. But we're getting above, there we go, we closed above. Definitely inversion now. Five-minute inversion, 1 minute inversion. See how that 1, 5, 15, they're all kind of layered over the top of each other now. And I want to keep pushing up higher. But we're still in the top of that regular trading hours gap. Slicing and dicing me. Don't give back your $80. I think Tuesday was my nightmare in shining armor. Yeah, that's what they say. You go into the weekend giving back all your profits, which is what I've done this week, just by ridiculous entries that really had nothing to do with any of Michael's principles, except this one would have been the ideal one, which is that, and I could have saved myself. I saved myself all this mess here. You guys were calling it right to that fair value gap, which made a lot more sense after I was trying to marry an idea. That would be a good discount range to reach for, and at a time price discount array, waiting for a fair value gap to form around that 10-10 time, and then the continuation. So look at that. It was literally, you had a half a pip, or what was that? Yeah, like 1750, so half a handle of drawdown, which would have been precision, because that would be the spread. So even if you put that in there, like that, you would have had a perfect entry, and you'd be like drowning in dollar bills right now. That's the patience you need to wait for. So for my journal entry, it was like, don't experiment, especially in high resistance moments like this. wait for more opportune time that seems more precise. And Michael's mentioned this over and over again. In the Robbins Cup, Michael would have been in here taking these moments when people are all getting bashed up in the air like this. Michael would be just loading in right there, piling in again off the top of that breaker, and he would have been stepping it up, adding, and he would be laughing right now. He'd be hauling in tons of pips. Those are the golden sessions. He'll wait for a magic moment like that. So we're calling it when it's happened, but I got beat up too much in here, so the psychology is, you've already said you're not going to trade, so follow through with what you say, and you beat yourself up so much, I second guess myself right there, even though I was calling it, but I lost. So it's good psychology for me to understand again. Not little to do with the techniques, more to do with headspace. And this is the wrestling that'll happen with you when you start to see the charts. You can read the charts, but getting past the psychology of your head, second guessing yourself, trying experimental crap that's really not in the stuff that Michael talks about. Well, and in high resistance moments like this, you're going to get beat up. And hopefully I've demonstrated that, luckily in a demo account for you today. This would be good, because this is the kind of mental discipline I want to develop. Being able to take losses like this, get refocused, and look for logical entries, and then to be able to take that would have been a high level of discipline for me, to be able to say, no, now you're on track, focus on being on track and go. But I've been, because I usually just sit here and call every candle, now I'm just kind of waffling on it. So look at this candle here. We've traded above it, come back down to it right there, right on the money. And we're going to continue to push higher. We're going to get my objective today if it kills me. Daily, what am I looking for? I'm looking for that candle there. So 16 or 630 is my upside objective. 630, and we got in here, and that was my objective, 630. So that would be 100. Oh my God, that would be 113 pips or handles for the day, you guys. 113 handles. Had I not pissed around in here and took this trade properly, and I've been calling that objective, that'll be 113 handles if that hits it today. Just saying. Tuesday was a killer for me. Well, clearly Friday has been my killer. I used your inversion period to buy the gap for 10 handles. Done for that now until I get to see move down. I can't think higher today, so if it goes, I'll have to go without me, which has been known to do. LOL. So you're marrying the idea of it going down, Derek, and I'm marrying the idea of it going up. So here I am taking my, marrying my trade, beat me up. Now I'm driving off into the sunset with my ex-girlfriend in a Pinto, my ex-wife in a Pinto. We have no money to get back in that trade, so we're off and cruising. So where have we hit? We've hit, look for your, we were talking here for your short guys who want to go short. That's kind of like your line in the sand right there for, do you get support off that order block and inside that inversion? So your inversion looks like it's holding. You've just popped above the last hour high. So if your hourly objective was here for that run up for 10 to the top of the hour, you've just made your bank. You did pretty good there for what was that entry here? 17, 15 to 17. Oh, look at that. That's like 100 handles right there. That's right up to the top of that hour. Alright, so now your mean threshold, you want to see that as a, I guess, for you short guys to go, my idea of that would be your line in your sand is here for short people. A reversal, if we do get the opening candle in the next 5 minutes to return to here, look for that down close candle right there as being your PD raise to look for, the high and the mean threshold, which is back in that 15-minute fair value gap here. So if it does roll over, if it even comes back into that area and we break market structure on the downside like this, then yeah, I'm more down. Like that was a peak and I was wrong, didn't quite get the high. But you're at 100 handles right now for your silver bullet. And that's like a stellar end to your week if you're in that long. And I hope somebody caught that. And that you're just feasting right now. You're sitting back at your buffet and you're just giggling your little head off with little greasy fingers, gnawing on a chicken leg. I used her immersion. Okay, Derek, I'm looking for a bride to go down. If she isn't, then I'm not marrying her. Okay, good. But she's going to have to be beautiful to prove to me she's just fooling me into thinking she's going down. I like your 1 hour order block to hold price and keep a candle from closing above that mean threshold. If it doesn't hold the candle then from closing above the mean threshold, then maybe higher today. Hate when I gotta leave in the middle of a silver bullet. Have dogs and need attention, and I don't They create a mess. Oh, yeah. Well, trail your stop loss up. Go deal with your dog. Say, oh, okay, well, put your stop loss under here or something like that, and say, if it comes back to take me out, that's fine. Or let it run. Yeah. Or close it out up there. Like, cheapers, like 100 handles. Can't go wrong with 100 handles. So there's the mean threshold kind of bouncing around inside here right now. So we want to see this either drive right through this and push for higher prices, the rejection block up here, or get on top of this in 1 hour inversion. Right? I'm going to turn this into a template, a setting, text, 1 hour inversion, because I don't have a 1 hour inversion template. 1 hour inversion, and we'll make it a little darker. And that will be 1 hour inversion fair value. Yeah. Template. Save as 1 hour inversion fair value gap. Save. Save. And there we go. So the real macro for the silver bullet is from 1010 to 1020. No, remember Michael said there's no other macros. If I say there's another macro, I'm lying to you. So I'm going to say no, because he says the macro's over at 1010. But for me, 1010 is the time I look for a silver bullet. Anywhere after, because I just basically look for, and that my rationale is this. Now, I'm not saying Michael's wrong. I'm not saying my idea is better. I'm not saying any of that shit, because all I'm saying is an observation I've made is the wick. If you're looking at the wick of an hour and it's taking out a key level at the 10 o'clock time, if it takes out a key low, the logic says that if a low is taken, usually the reverse will happen. Now, if that happens at 10 o'clock and we get a little fair value gap that happened, like I took a loss there right at 9:58, thinking, okay, that would be I'm inside the macro still. I could take this as the run up, like I've done my 3 little Indian thing. I was thinking that pattern, and that hadn't quite been 10 o'clock. And that's the shenanigans that happens for me. It's the wick portion of that hour. And you want to catch the body going back up again. So usually that my logic is that at around 10:10 to 10:12 is your entry for that, whatever the inversion or whatever fair value gap forms in there. For me, is my silver bullet is around there. Now, I'm not saying Michael's wrong. I'm not. I'm just saying, for me, I like to wait for that wick to form. The potential for that wick to form, unless it's something bold and it just starts taking off, and I see a fair value gap there, we've taken out a low, and we don't have all this mess in here, then yeah, I'm all for taking the first one you find. And again, that's more of what PD array you're looking for close. But that was a logical PD array to hit on a discount. Wick dips down into it. Now it creates its little, even though it hasn't broken market structure, it still creates that wick around 1010. Here's the 10. There's the 1007. Then there's the 1009 or 109. That moves right into it. 1010, 1012, dip, 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 and then 1012 is the candle that starts for me, is the one that starts the initiation of a run. So I look for specific times. Remember, I was trying to trade the perfect Crazy Ivan here at 36 to 38. There's 37. I thought, oh, that's a Crazy Ivan. I get long on that, and like this is like the Crazy Ivan. Look back before it goes back up, but this whole area here was more of the Crazy Ivan on that time, which is basically the wick. So my Crazy Ivan didn't work. The 9 o'clock one, right off 10 o'clock, thinking this was a 3 Indians pattern. Again, that's a retail thinking, and I got beat up like a retail trader there because it took me out one more time. Instead of waiting for that 10:10 logical setup I usually wait for in the mornings, that would have been a beautiful run today. I could be sitting here peacocking myself, but right now I'm licking wounds because I didn't wait for something here, and I started trading an idea that wasn't supported by anything that Michael teaches. So anyway, I'm not saying the macro starts at 10:10 to 10:20 at all. That's not a macro for me. It's just my silver bullet entry. And if I'm going long for a big sucker like that for today, 100 handles, I wouldn't start beating myself up if I didn't get 100 handles out of that. And you already had 100 handles already. So stop loss would be sitting down in here, one of these guys here. And if we lose that mean threshold, and we start to trade back through this inversion here, take this low out here, then move to the sidelines, and I don't get my high. But now 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, usually there's a retracement that can happen all the way back into here. So here's the next thing that I like to look for. So the low that's created at 10 o'clock to the high that's created at 11 o'clock, usually you'll get, this is a reversal candle on the hourly. The 11 o'clock candle is a reversal candle of what happened here, and it usually reverses to 62%, 50 to 62% of the range that was created in here. Again, just my observation. It's not a 100% foolproof. Don't bet your kid's college fund on it. But I could see as much as a 50% to 62% retracement of that hour, which would bring you right back to that 15-minute inversion fair value gap. Like if I pull my fib tool here on the leg, why not this one? No, because it's the one out of the consolidation. It broke out, so I would take this one here. Don't ever think that I'm thinking my stuff's better than Michael's. It's not. If it was, I'd be banking today and not taking losses on stupid ideas. So 25-50% puts us right in the middle of the fair value gap on the 15-minute. So look for a retracement into here, and then if we do get this, look for a pump back up. Like this would be, to me, the Judas part of that hour. And we have a big wick down here for 8, and then the next hour after this is a reversal of the hour that reverses after here. Sorry, that's just an observation I've been making. My mom and dad, stand by. Hello? Oh, yeah. It's hypothyroidism. Hypo, it's a low. It's just you'd be taking it for hypothyroidism, not hyper. If it was hyper, you'd be huge. Hypo, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If she knew that, she knew that you'd be a huge person for hyperthyroidism. Is like a big person. Hypothyroid are the people that sleep a lot, like you were doing. So you're taking Synthroid, so you're taking thyroid medication. All right? Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, bye. Oh, la la la. Okay. Sorry. Micro, yeah, don't be greedy at this point. It's January. Your 1 hour chart has a breaker to the left, doesn't it? 1 hour chart has a breaker to the left. Yes, it does. That's why we were calling for that mean threshold. You don't want to lose the mean threshold on a close. You have closed above it. Oh, sorry. Maybe you have not. Let me just look here and take this guy here to here. There's 50%. So you technically have closed above 50% of that breaker. So return to the order block. Remember I was telling you here, we could get a return to here, which is inside that 15-minute. Oh no, it's not. But it was back to here. I'd mentioned this earlier. So we've hit it. We're reacting off of it. So now, is this all you needed to continue up to the upside? Just that candle that closed below, back to the bearish order block, and then a continuation to the upside. Again, this inversion fair value gap is where I'm looking. So the wicks do the damage. Where does this close on the hourly? So we're back into that. So see how we've come through on a body? So again, you got to look for, like Michael was saying yesterday, which is a really good point, is what time frame are you basing your idea in? Don't trade two different time frames with one idea. Like I can't trade this time frame. Okay, we're now broke below it, so we've got support. We're finding support at the bottom half of it, so now we're reversing to go back down lower. So that one's going lower, and I can't use that because this inversion fair value, it hasn't closed yet and come back to it, so I can't use the same theories. This is that inversion, and I look for support to the upside, which we haven't quite hit the full close of it yet. We've run down below it. Now, are we coming back to find support at it to continue down for that retracement we were talking about on this hour candle? And that may be the retracement we needed on that hour back to a logical level, which is that order block, and then a continuation. So we may not get the 50%, just the return to that order block is a PD array on the hourly. We've returned to that inside a consolidation, run up, run down to 50% of the consolidation. So if you take this from here to here, I think you take it from there to there. 50% right there, bang. From that high to that low, that's your consolidation. We ran up, come back into 50% of the consolidation and pull away. Okay, so that's what we see there going on there. And now we want to see this order block get lost here on the upside. And now we have another little fair value gap here. If this closes, we have an inversion going on here, so that should support price to continue up. There you go. So you want to see that continue to support price going up. Get above this mean threshold here now. So I can get rid of this here. So this, I'm looking at this, thinking about this on an hourly candle now. This is a flat, small little wick on the hourly, just enough to retrace back into, also small wick, a long enough wick to come back to our logical area that we were expecting. Order block, I have to lose the midpoint though. It just tapped it. So now you say, where are we inside here? You've just tapped the midpoint of that one. This guy here is the midpoint. And if we lose that low, then we have a further retracement where that breaker there is holding price. And right now, this isn't a breaker because it hasn't broken a high in here. So that's more mitigation. That's a breaker. Breakers are stronger than mitigation blocks. So if this does hold, and we revisit this mean threshold here, we want to see the rejection block, so on and so forth, and then the close of the rest of that hourly fair value gap inversion. That's what I'm looking up for that. So if the breaker order block, so if it breaks the order block, breaker, and fair value gap, then that's a 3 PD arrays, which Michael suggests is his line in the sand. Yeah, if you hit 3 D arrays, what did he say? 3 PD arrays in a row. If it takes out 3 PD arrays in a row, then your ass is next. So there's 1, 2, and it's got to close below the third. So it's tapping it here. Remember, this is a mitigation block, so it's not as strong as a breaker. We're calling for it to come back to here. So is this going to hold price or lose price? Dipping into rejection now. So I tell you, the rejection blocks are so powerful. I love those rejection blocks. They they can hold price, they can bounce off of them before taking out a low. If it stops right there and turns around and goes all the way back up again, once again, you are seeing that rejection block is a great place to get your trade off before taking out the low, because you may not always get that low. You may just get the rejection and then it turns around and goes back up, just like what we're seeing here right now. We've closed, still the body closes above the candle. We did go through 3 PD rays in a row, right? But we didn't close below 3. So here we're going to take a run again. Then you're looking at the wick here. So then we'll go back to that idea of the retracement into 50%, 15-minute candle for that hour, and then the reversal again for the next hour. We'll see if that pans out. Which is why I think it's going higher if it takes all of those 3 out. Now we've closed below it. See that? So now that order block becomes, this fair value gap here now becomes something of value for me. We found support at the bottom of that inversion again. He went all the way back up into the mean threshold, ran this guy out here, mitigation, not a very strong one, came back up, tapped the bottom of the inversion, fair value gap, and then we start to pull back down again. So if we give this one away, then look for that 50% of the range, 50 to 62%, and then I want to look for a, so what's a 62% of the range? And I'll pull 2 different levels so we get to get an idea. So you'll wick to wick. 50% puts us right in the middle of the mean, or the consequent encroachment of the inversion fair value gap. Okay, so we're taking the low. Lose the consolidation. That was 50%, so now we've closed below 50%. For me, we're going lower. So there's, I'm just going to put a small line here out of curiosity. And then we'll look for 62%. 62% puts us here. And then I'm going to pull it from the bodies. %, puts us here, 62% puts us here. So we're pretty close. So we'll see where it ends up. Bodies versus the wicks. And if I go all the way down to here, and here, so we'll see where it ends up, and we'll just be up for observation level. We'll see if the wick and bodies give us something close, and we'll look for that for a piece of information for us. So that 1 minute's still holding. So next couple of minutes should be a swing point. I think we're going to lower at lunch. Goodbye, my girlfriend's going lower. My girl's going lower. Engaged now, but not married yet. Sometimes they change their engagement. Don't go in too early. What is the midpoint of this candle right here? Oh yeah, that's right on that guy right there. All right, so that's good. That lines up pretty close to what we're looking for anyway. So we'll look for here. And do we get a, and as a logical level for a retracement, there is, there's this little tiny imbalance way down here. If we lose this, like completely, and we get on the other side of this 15-minute inversion, then I could be wrong. We should be getting, as long as we're closing below this, then I'm wrong. We may be heading back down here, and that's all we got for a retracement for the day, which is still pretty damn good. So retrace to here, move up, or retrace to here, pop back up, and continue down. Good thing Michael wasn't in here this morning watching my ridiculous trading. But that's what experimenting's about. It's about trying to find your groove, testing theories. Some of you may say, well, you haven't found your groove in 8 years, 7 years? I've always been a late bloomer. Okay. One minute still holding. Look at this order block here now. Little fair value gap here. Fill. 21. This is a turn candle. Or a turn point, I should say. The next candle might be a turnaround down. There you go. Back to an order block. See that? It just rang the bell. Ding! Hits the spot. Turnaround candle. to mean threshold. There's your swing at 21. Push for higher. We got 27 now. Create a swing in 27 or a swing in 27 around the 27-minute mark. We start getting near the bottom of the hour. The engagement isn't going as expected. These are just lovers' quarrels. This is just getting to know each other. See, in my little relationship here, we're in our Pinto, we're in a lot of love here. Then we had to pull over for a pee, and we're arguing over which stop to have to pull over and get gas. So we're having our disputes as well. So right now I see this as a nice little reaction off of that. I like that. And the key really is whether or not these two kind of give up the ghost and we start to lose, really start to dig down into here. And you start getting, and you close on that. That's 3 PD arrays. The next one is a rundown even further. So I wouldn't want to see it close on the third PD array, because this next one candle is taking out, well, whatever would be the high. I guess there's no wick there. 1, 2. That would be the third one. See how we're kind of stuck in between these two? Keep finding some resistance off that hourly inversion. And the little 1 minute fella here is holding up price. You're in a small range here now, premium on that breaker. And again, we're back to the same situation we had here. Mitigation block, did not break an old high. Mitigation block, did not break an old high. But we do have a swing here for a run above. So you want to see this candle hold support here and here now. The wrestling, arm wrestling going on between here and here. Premium discount of a range. Mean threshold. Do we close above or below it? Hit that 1 hour order block and bounced. Honestly, that 10 a.m. close above the mean threshold at 3 p.m. candle from yesterday makes me leery that it may still go higher. That's where my vindication is. That's where our sunset is for me for the day. I'm hoping that call pans out for the day, just for, even though it took some money, that would be my my tip my hat to a logic for me, or for some, think I saw, I don't know, I'd feel better if it went up there, just to make me feel better for the day, saying, oh, you did call it, good. How many handles are we away from? Is that like more than, I thought it was 130 handles. Maybe it's 200. What is the, we're looking for here, 630. Oh yeah, it's only like another. We got up to 629. So I was so close to getting my objective hit for the day. Oh, we're a lot closer than I thought. Okay, so this is the objective I was calling for, that blue line. And I am literally one handle away from my thing, my call for the day. Yeah, one hand. Oh yeah, that's what that little blue line is right there. Jeepers creepers. Look how close I am, boys. Vindication, vindication. Look how close that was to hitting my objective for the day. I didn't even realize that was there until I thought, oh no, it's way up there still, but it's not. It was that rejection block I was calling for on the daily, and which is right there, which would have been 113 handles for the day. And I was literally, what is that, point 29, one handle away from success. Well, we'll see. I may still get it. You gotta tell me how bear shorter block, yeah. Now, usually you get, at lunchtime, it'll take out the high that was created in that morning session, right? Just before lunch. So I'll get my vindication today. Calling that higher. I think we're both right then, Derek. AB, he was calling for this to go lower. You guys got your one before hopefully I get my one. My wife hit a deer and totaled her car a few weeks back. And so now she's driving my car, and my car's pretty new. And we filled it up full of stuff for the basketball team this weekend. There's a tournament this weekend for the basketball team, so we went out to Costco's and bought hundreds of drinks and chocolate bars and junk food for the little sale. They put on a little sale there, try and generate some money for the school. And the car was just filled with stuff today, super heavy, loaded full of fluids and stuff, and I'm like, you better drive carefully, because if you get in a rollover and this stuff starts flying around in here, you're dead. There's so much. I've seen a paper or a Kleenex box split someone's head open from the back seat, getting a car crash, and the only thing that flew off the back of the back window, sitting on the rest and behind the seat, was a Kleenex box, and it split a guy's head open, 8 stitches. Because when you come into a sudden stop, that Kleenex box accelerates to 100 kilometers an hour, right? So if somebody pitches a Kleenex box at your head at 100 kilometers an hour, it's going to open you up. So anyway, I was telling her, you better drive carefully. So she gets to work this morning, and she's texted me saying, you wouldn't believe 5 elk. Now, elk are huge here in Canada. They're much bigger than the regular deer. She goes, 5 elk crossed the road in front of me today. So like, oh man, those things will destroy your car. If a little deer destroyed her last one, imagine what an elk would do. Wow, crazy. That road is brutal for wildlife. Elk, deer, moose. And those of you who are hunters, no, you can't come to Canada and shoot my moose. I'm an animal lover, sorry. Anyway, so we're back into that mean threshold again. So I want to see this start really pushing up now, but we're getting close to the lunch hour. So just give me my freaking line so I can peacock a little bit to myself with an empty wallet. You really wanted the lows taken out in the 4 hour? I think I'll give you the logic or the reason why I went with this rejection block. When you get this many probes into the wilderness, big candles like this, and you come down here, to me, there's no way you're, after having 2 big runs like this, that you're not going to reach for that rejection block one more time, or even dig into this. So I'm saying here, but I'm still saying further and further, like 25% of this, you take that wick now and you split it into quarters and go to 25% of it. I'm looking for that today as an upside, or 50% of this wick for the upside as the potential, because usually you'll see a 3 wick run like that with this little deceleration. Like this is like a tweezer pattern, they call this back in the usually tweezers are, I think, equal distance. I call that, might be a syringe. The end of a syringe, the paramedic syringe. So I want to see at least run back to that rejection block one time before running lower. In here we ran low today. We'd already taken out a low. Well, no, we didn't take out a low. This is where we kept dipping down, and I was thinking that we would get into 50% of that wick, but we didn't. It came all the way back down to the body. Now I want to see this push up. Like it's done its thing. That order block held right on the body. And then I want to see it come back and even further into this wick today. So I want to see this high get taken right out and really get some volume above that into the rejection. And if it doesn't, then one handle short. I'm not going to cry too much if I was out by one handle. Let me look at your 4 hour idea here. So we have a 4 hour fair value gap. You're looking for it to get down into here, AB. Inversion. We get above it. Come back into it, into the order block. Here's your validation of the order block. We come back into the body right there. Come back in one more time into the mean threshold. Breakout. So we're digging into breaker 4-hour breaker. So you see right here, if we take this 4-hour and we say, if we run this from here to here, upside here, and we take that into the daily again, and we take that wick back to the wick idea I was telling you about before. Look how close to the 25%. Now that would show weakness if we hit that, rolled over and went back down. So there's your mean threshold of your breaker on your 4-hour. Takes you above the rejection back into that 4-hour inversion. Sorry, 4-hour breaker. Mean threshold. And you're still below that 25% of that wick. I'll just put those there. That line there is potential for upside. If you're really going to gun it up there. If not, that may be it. That one lot. Again, remember I was telling you about the rejection block can be the, if you're unloading your position, a rejection block. On the daily, maybe one handle with a half a handle spread is anywhere from a quarter to a half handle spread to get that. I'm not going to say I got it, even though it's, but anyway, that's the point. Rejection blocks are great places to unload your position. So if you're looking for all the juice in the lemon there for that trade, then look for, oh, we're finally digging down into that range we talked about earlier. And we're still in the still 40 minutes into this. So that's the hourly reversal candle. And then the next hour we should get another reversal. So watch for 50%. We're getting into this rejection on the 15-minute now. Yes, just to take them out. Take them out by looking daily. It's perfect. Hits Monday. Open. Then up. Okay, now we're digging into the 15. Now I want to see it. On one of those lines, or the mean threshold, we want to see some action here, because we've got some, we've picked the bodies, we picked the wicks, we know it's around here somewhere. We'd like to see a retracement back up to go higher, if the idea is to go higher. Now that we've broken market structure to the downside, we've come back up inside the consolidation that ran the high. We've come back to the consolidation. 50% of that consolidation ran it up. We have equal highs, relative equal highs here at the mean threshold still. Order block, hit. So, lowest body candle that runs up is the parent swing of that run up into here. You come back into it. go shorter. So the mean threshold of that candle, you want to see a hold price to continue down. Basically, we're just hitting the wick in the body right now, and they're holding price to go down. Let me turn that sound off because I'm sure that banging in your ears is not a... Still supporting price here. Run the low. Start heading for our lower objective here. I'll be right back. Okay. We're finding some support off of the 15-minute. We've got the last 12 minutes of this hourly candle. Let's move these things around now. Back to breaker here. Right on the money. So what time is this? 50? Yeah, this is potentially a swing point here, right off that breaker. So then we should see a little swing down here and a look for a run back into this consolidation, top of the consolidation inside that 1 minute fair value gap there. Fair value gap, bottom of the inversion. Now it's 52. 50 to 52 is a turn. 50 and 52 usually turn. This is where you start getting a lot of bouncing around here. Don't forget we started our new macro now for the next hour. And we're starting to run. So if our macro is going to seek liquidity above the market, that macro is beginning now. There's 49 and 50. $11.50 macro, correct? Correct. $145 subs. Thank you for coming in. We're hitting double digit watching today. For the last little while, we've hit double digits. People popping in, for at least 10 people popping in. There's a sense of pride I have in that. I'm imagining 10 people crowded in my room here, kind of sharing this stuff with you guys. I love it. Very humbling. So breaker still. 50 to 52 turn. Now 55 to 58 push up. Or 55 to 58 is a swing point. So if we're looking for a logical place for a discount array for a 55-58 turn, right in here somewhere. unless that becomes the breakaway gap for a run up. Sorry, I'm just trying to look for a little 50% right there on the money. See, mean threshold, we did not get below. Yeah, I guess we did here. Run back up, mean threshold. So despite my losses and my shenanigans over here this morning, did you guys see the logic of this entry down here? And I think for all of us, it's been a lesson today on marrying a trade, right? And getting beat up and marrying your trade either too soon, not looking for a logical entry, hoping that it's going to go somewhere else, not reading the charts properly. I wanted it to go in a place that it wasn't ready to go there yet. So it went to where everybody else was looking. And then when you get that break in structure, or you look for something that supports a potential change in your plans, you have to be flexible enough to go, I'm wrong, I'm on the up, I've got to get on the right side of this, and then be okay with it. If you're on the wrong side, you're on the wrong side. It's not a bad thing. It just gives you feedback and tells you, all right, I just got to get reset. I'm going to get back on the right side. And then you can that's where I was mentioning down here, that's where that mental discipline is, to say, yep, I recognize that I was on the wrong side. Now it's corrected. It's back on the right side. Now my objective is going to continue on. That's hard for any one of us to be able to do, really. It's been a good lesson day today on marrying the trade. That's been the theme of the day. Marrying your trade, or marrying a thought process, and how long you stay committed to it, and are you marrying it at the appropriate time and price. I didn't quite get 50% of that run. 50% is right there on that. Continue pushing up. Look at this price leg now. When you break that high, look for a price leg up, and I'll think I'll finally get my vindication, if that works. Yes. Look for that up there now. If that high gets taken, look for that, and I finally get my damn spot. Yeah, it's a good thing it's all demo. I like the idea that Michael's he's going to win this Robbins Cup based on the silver bullet entry. I think for me this year, I want to try and follow that logic and hold myself accountable to the 10 o'clock. We're going to wait for the 10 o'clock silver bullet, and it's really about trying to stay out of the markets until the 10 o'clock gives us our silver bullet setup, and if it doesn't, then we wait for the afternoon silver bullet. And that's it. 2 trades, 1 day, instead of trying to play with all this drama. Hold me to that, you guys. That'll be your job, to kind of hold me to the promise I want to make to you guys and to myself for this year. So if we catch the silver bullet trades, we're obviously not going to catch what Michael sees every time, but there's going to be like that one this morning, blatantly obvious to me, but Then again, the psychology kept me out of it. My head was just not in the right place to take it, even though I was calling it, not in the right place for it. So how long do you plan on doing this live on YouTube, Darren? You know what? This is kind of like my retirement thing. I want to travel and do this. So I want to meet up with you guys in different parts of the world. I have an overall dream of where I want this to go. I'd love to get thousands of people into this thing. But I don't want to leave anybody behind. I want to try. I want to give you guys really good entries, signals, and I want people to be able to go, yeah, this is a pretty reliable signal service, but I'm not charging for it, obviously. If it generates ad revenue, then that's nice. But I want to be able to travel and do this and come to you guys every morning, have a laugh, and when I get to a certain number of people, I promise that I'll go live. I'll show my face and I'll show some videos of wherever it is I am in the world, and say, hey, look, you can enjoy yourself, you can make money at this, and you can travel and help people. And I want to walk my talk. I want this to be able to generate a revenue stream as I trade on my live account, to fund trips, to show videos of going to different countries, helping different people out in different situations, and having the money to be able to do that, and just to show that life isn't all about making money. It's about connections, it's about experiences, it's about meeting people and connecting with people. And ideally I'd love to be able to do this long enough that I can make so many thousands of friends on here, and as I travel the world, I want to meet up with you, say how's it going for you, talk about some of the psychology, do a little blog on it or vlog on it, and say, hey, look, we're meeting up with one of our subscribers here in Turkey or in Greece or down in Hawaii or something like that, and saying how you do a little interview. If you're interested, do a little interview, have a little chat, do a couple little videos on the sidelines, so you see more than just me coming in here doing charts. I want to be able to show that you can make a living at this, and you can do the right thing by people, and it's not all about just generating tons of money for yourself and hoarding it, right? Which I have no problem if that's what you're doing. For me, I want to be able to walk my talk. I want to be able to share this with people, and this is the start for me. Yeah, so I'll keep doing this as long as I can. I obviously won't be doing it as long when I'm on trips. Like, I want to try and come in, catch a silver bullet in the morning and say, all right, we're heading out, I'm going to shoot some videos, stay tuned, pop into the channel, and you'll see some videos of us out enjoying ourselves, getting experiences. It's all based on trying to generate a revenue stream of trading in the markets and being able to live, and instead of just trying to make money. And I know that's the rat race that a lot of us are in right now, is trying to generate money and making money and just survive. For some people, it's just they want to survive, right? Or they hate their job and they want to get out. So if we can do something that's consistently making money for everybody, and I'm doing it on a demo account, so what you do in your live account's yours. I'm not giving out any advice, but if we can get together every day and make a couple of trades here and there, and you guys make money at it in your own live account, taking your own risk, whatever you want to do, then that's your business. But anyway, that's what I kind of want to do for my channel here. That's where I want it to go. So the more people who subscribe, the more people we can connect with, the more people who can share their ideas. I love the fact that you guys were contrary to me this morning, and it went right to where you were hoping for. And Derek pulled in some money despite what I was thinking. I love that. I love that, because that just shows that you're You got to believe in what you see, as I was believing in what I see, but well, clearly, I'm not going to re-explain why I was wrong. I've been very clear about why I was wrong and where I was right. So I love that. I love that we all got differences of opinions. Nobody's arguing. Nobody's trolling each other. We're just calling it as we see it. And if you're making money at it, great. If you're losing demo money at it, that's great, because it's just demo money, as it should be. So anyway, sorry, that's kind of a long-winded answer to your question. That's kind of what I'm doing now. Already retired, going to Spain in March. Oh, I totally want to go to Spain. I want to go to see that really fancy cathedral they've got there. Sorry, I don't know the name of it, but I want to go to the MoMA. I want to go to all around Barcelona. They've got some beautiful architecture, museums. I want to see some museums. I love art. I have an art degree, and I love seeing some art. We were out there looking at, my buddy went out in town here, looked at some local artists. So you're gonna have such a great time there, AB, and man, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. You're retired and getting out there. I'm injured and retired. I'm forced into retirement here. So this was my new passion. Medical stuff was my initial, and now my new passion is trading. And hooking up with you guys in the morning is great. Like, nothing makes me happier than to be able to share some of this stuff. If I can pass on some learnings to people, man, nothing makes me happier. It really does. So that's the plan. Yes, good for you, Barcelona. Take some pictures, man, and pop onto our channel on the Telegram. Look at the link in the bio above. Click on Telegram, join our channel, and pop some pictures in there of you enjoying yourself in Barcelona. It'd be great. But if you want to keep your anonymity, I respect that as well. And that's the kind of thing I want to be able to post on here, so that Michael doesn't have to do interviews with people. He can just come onto the channel and say, now there's a guy that I have taught how to fish. There's a guy who is like a rock in the water. You threw him in with some knowledge, and his ripples are affecting many, many people. So what Michael has taught us is given me the ability to be able to help other people. Watch this. This is my, everybody here cheer. A mighty cheer if it hits my number, my point for the day. Yeah, go. Or is it just going to go up there another half a freaking handle and deny me my point of the day? Anyway, yeah, so he's taught us how to fish, essentially. That was his point. He did not want to be fishing, give you a fish. He wants to, and feed you for a day. He wants to teach you how to fish, and now you can live for your whole life. But for me, living is through experiences and helping people. And Michael's, oh, do you hear the cheer? Yay! We finally hit my objective for the day. Now, yeah, there you go. There's 110 handles to that point, 113 handles right there. There's the 17,630. Yahoo! He yells with an empty pocket, because that's ridiculous shit that I took down here. And look at that. That's your silver bullet right there at the 10. Wait for the wick of the day to form. Look at that, right into it, right on the freaking money. You were like a quarter of a pip, or quarter of a handle drawdown for 113 handles. We're even calling for this little run back down into that hour. Didn't quite hit the 50% that we were looking for, but that was the hour. I was telling you, we get the drawdown in here, you usually get a 50 to 62% draw return. We were just short of that as well. How short of were we on that drawdown? And no, it's not where I'm looking to go. It should be down here. We're just short of it. 2 handles short of that fair value gap, which would have been a logical place for it to come back to. But that's okay. Look at that. Now the rejection block is hit. It can do whatever the hell it likes now. Hallelujah. I don't know how to title this one today. Watch me take a big loss and then call the high of the day. Inside high resistance. That's a really, really good lesson for all of us. And hopefully you got to see all that high resistance and trading in high resistance and how you can get beat up in it, but wait for a perfect time and price. Michael would have killed that. Imagine him with 75 handles or 35 handles as he splits this between 2 different indices like he was talking about. If he took 35 handles on this and ran for a logical objective that he was probably aiming for, $35 handles times 100. What is that, like $35,000 or something? Anyway, hopefully you got something out of that today. If you like what we did, even despite the fact that I took a hit and we had some good sound logic, if you like that stuff, smash the like button. If you don't like it, you're not interested, you know, hit the dislike if you like and move on out. But yeah, that was our daily objective, was it not? Yep, there's the rejection block. And we're pulling right back into that now. You see that? Hit it and really pulling off of it. Nice. So lunchtime takes out the 11 o'clock high. That's all it needed. Just to take it out. Now we could do a retracement all the way back down. Now you guys can start getting your lower objectives. But oh, excuse me. We have to clean this out here. Get below that 50% before I'm bearish again. This would be kind of interesting. So the leg that takes out the high, if we start getting a retracement now, I'm going to give you the next level of prediction here. If we take this one here, we drop down and we come back into this leg or that consolidation, 50% of this leg that takes out this high would either be from here or here. 50% of that, which would put you right back into this fair value gap here. Watch this. If I go here, we'll take this part of the leg here. 50% puts you right in the middle of that consequent encroachment of the SIBI right here. But we have to see a downward, a big bold candle get down here. And I'd like to see it get through, come back up inside here, then go short, like blam. That leg that took out that high, is you're looking for no more than 50% of that. It could come up and close it, but I want to see that on a wick, but you want to see the body stay below 50% of that handle. Once we get below here, not this return right now. We have to get a body below here. This could be just a return back up into here. And now that's not open, so that whole idea is now for me gone. So forget what I just said. AB, party. Kirk was there in Spain. So was there in Spain? So nice. Went to see a bullfight and see Picasso's. Oh, cool. I haven't seen that Picasso picture. He was definitely an interesting character, I tell you. I remember a story. I heard of a story about how Picasso wrote. He was doodling this picture, and this lady said, "Can I have it on a napkin?" And he was going to throw it away, and she says, "Can I have your napkin?" And he says, "If you give me $30,000." She was like, "What? It's a napkin. You were going to throw it away." He says, "But it's what's on the napkin. $30,000 is not worth it." Well, you're not paying for the napkin. You're paying for all the years it took me to get to what I put on the napkin. Which is true, because I have a degree in art, and a lot of people just go, "You want to charge me what?" They never want to pay you what an artist is worth. You think, well, you're not paying for the picture. You're paying for all the years it took me to get to that point. I'll post some of my art. Maybe I'll post some of my art in a short on the channel, so you guys get a taste of some of the stuff that I've done. If you're interested in me posting some of it, let me know. If not, then I'll just keep this as a trading channel for now. So now we want to go look at this breaker right here. Last up close candle before a run below this low. Not below that low though. So is it a super strong breaker for me? We're in a discount of that range big time. Rejection block. Never took out the low. So I want to see that push through there now and continue up higher. That was the next objective we were looking for. How'd you find the bullfight, Kirk? Didn't you find that hard to watch? I kind of imagine like it's a metaphor for a lot of things, right? How you can get so angry and rage and chase things, wanting to kill things, and be from the perspective of the bull, that you can be so angry in life, and the last part of your life was about rage. People enraged you to the point where you died in that fit of rage. Versus going, I'm a bull that comes out and says, "Hey everybody, I see red. Oh, that's a cute color. That's a nice color, red." And the bull never attacks anybody. It just kind of trots around. People throw roses at it, trying to antagonize it. It just goes, "I'm not biting. I'm not getting angry." Interesting metaphor that they try to enrage this thing to the point that it charges and charges and charges and dies in its frustration. There's a weird irony there for lots of people in the world, where you get consumed by your rage and then eventually die by the sword. I'm very metaphorical. That you'll learn about me every once in a while. I'll go on these little rants, because that's what you do when you have a live channel, isn't it? You have a captive audience, and you can have a little rant while you're waiting for the charts to continue on. 1718, expecting a turn here. Come back to a discount array inside here. So 50% of this. Just dip down into the bottom half of your, or top half of your fair value gap. Mean threshold. Back to the order block. We haven't taken out a high yet, so mitigation. Not what you expect. It is sad. Yeah, I would imagine it would be. AB, gotta go for a bit. Be back. Roger that, sir. I miss Michael's rants. I love it when he has a good rant. So we're going to come back into, again, the discount array inside here. Well, that's the only big one there. So again, you love to see me pull my fib tools. Equal highs right now. Midpoint. Do we need to extend a little higher first before we hit midpoint? I'm trying to line this up in here now for a possible run up first, then come back into the midpoint. That looks about midpoint there. So sometimes I like to kind of predict where things are going to go based by where I line up my fib tool. If I think, well, if this is a decent range and we extend it up to here, this would put us right in the middle of that. So you can almost, not that you should, but sometimes I like to pull a fib tool to kind of, is it possible to predict this, where it's going to go, not just by this, but by lining up your fib tool for a 50 or 62% retracement in a logical area you'd expect price to come back to. Like you can just slowly walk your fib tool up till you go, okay, well there's 50%, there's 62%, so on and so forth. This is in quarters right now, so let me put it back on Mr. Retracement here. So if you want to hit the midpoint of this here, you'd have to see price go all the way up to there. If it doesn't, and that remains the high, then 50% brings us back into this inversion and near the top of that. And it needs to just pop over it back into that order block. But if not, if we get a run back up into that rejection block again, if we just touch that rejection block, that puts us 50% right in the middle of that BISI. I'm going to just look at that and see what happens first. So 50%, if we're here, 50% is this order block high. And if not, if this goes back up, then comes back down, 50% of that little range would be right there. So I just want to see if that works out. Again, we're playing. This isn't advice. This isn't anything. I'm just playing right now because we're just waiting for a price for me to continue to the upside. I just want to do a few little experiments in front of you guys and see what happens. So this is kind of good. I'm just thinking about this from the daily perspective. If that order block on a daily, yesterday's down close candle, was it down yesterday or the day before? Anyway, that order block we just banged off the opening hit a logical PD array to continue to the upside because we're bullish, right? And I have a bullish objective. And again, this is, Michael says you can't predict the high. Where is it that I've got it? Is it up here? Yeah. That's where my upside objective is, just so you guys know. It's near the 20,000 mark. So I'm making sure that that's well documented in my thing. And then And that's just from price legging. I'm just doing price legs, that's all. This whole price leg up and respecting that price leg, or the weekly objective from there to there, and then extending it from there all the way up gives me that upside objective. And again, you can't predict the high, but this high that we got from last week, I think it was, that I was aiming for, worked perfectly well. So I'm kind of hoping that this objective on a weekly chart from here to here, that price leg from there to there takes you up into, oops, maybe I'm a little too high. Or was it a different objective? Maybe it was a monthly, sorry. Was it a monthly chart? Yeah. I don't even know if that's the right one. It might have been over here. Trying to figure out how I got that number now. That's the range. Anyway, that doesn't mean it's actually going to do that. That's all I'm looking at from a very weak perspective of a range, a second range run over 2 years. Okay, so I'm still looking for that as a potential terminus of that price leg up. Now, again, I may be talking out of my ass. What do I know? Let's get back into that. Remove back to here. Back to here. Oh, so we didn't quite get that high. We got that high for 50. Oh, it went all the way through it. Okay. That didn't work. So we lost that mean threshold of that candle. See? Body closed below it. So now we can expect it to go for lows and back into this deeper range here. This is interesting. So if I go here to here, we've been hovering around 50% of that range with this lower time frame, or sorry, lower discount array not being hit yet. So we're working that whole 50% range, but still didn't take this stuff out here. So if you're inside this range still, this would be a nice little array to reach for to continue to the upside. Now we've got this array here, this array here. We've got this little range that's just started here. It's 26, 27. There's a swing point there, or a swing point here. It's at 27 to 30, 32. So I'm looking for this as a downside objective. And we'll see if this consolidation holds. Sorry, we pull this out here, back to the mean threshold of that discount array. JP Morgan Chase is saying Tesla will drop another 30%. Tesla dropping. Let me type in Tesla here. Tesla. Would be $30. That'd be 150. 147. Yeah. I could see that. This is good. This is good. What people are looking for. If you want to get short off that rejection block on the daily, just taking out the lows. Now, do we pull back into the 50% or 12? Sorry, what I was calling yesterday when I don't know what the hell I was thinking. First minute I thought I was in Wednesday and that tomorrow would be Thursday, and then I was in Thursday and I thought it was Friday, and I was calling for the Friday TGIF. Like, what the heck? You talk about foggy brain, like, holy smokes. I was not there in the afternoon. So it wasn't until I left and I was like, what the heck are you talking about? If it's Thursday, because it's garbage day, and you didn't take the garbage out because you thought it was Wednesday, now it's too late because now you think it's Friday and it was taken out yesterday, and I go outside and the garbage is still sitting there. I'm like, oh no. So wasn't a good day. So TGIF Friday. So let's look for this TGIF Friday trade. If you look at the range created, between, so Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So here's your range low, range high. I think we're way past. TGIF. Oh yeah, we're way below that. So forget the TGIF Friday. That weekly one's way below that. I don't want this to appear. Let's look at this here for a second. The leg that makes the high. I just want to kind of show you guys something. So the leg that makes the high, right there. Let's take the equilibrium. Now, the leg that makes the high, when we return back to the leg that makes the high, takes out the high, look at 50% of that leg that takes the high out, especially when you run below these lows. If we retrace back into it, look for 50% of the leg to go short. So here's 50. Draw that straight across. Look at this here. This is good. Now you guys might get your short for the day now. You want to see this low get taken out though before you start getting excited about that, because we still have relative equal highs up here now, unless we come back and revisit those next week that we finish off down in the day. That'd be good to gather up liquidity down here and here for a run up next week. So the leg that takes out the high, look for 2.5. The leg that takes the high, look for this. Two, 2.5. Without all the other stuff in there. And I want to make sure that's sitting on there, because I keep putting them. I don't want to be on top, I want to be on the middle. Not fib tracement, it's swing. There you go. So that leg times 1, it's just this. You'll see that these numbers for you might be different. You might have this as a 1 to here, and then a 2 to here, 3 to here, because you look at it from there to there. That's just 1, retraced 1, 2. So 1 would be here for you guys, and 2 would be a return to this old low here. So this could be your run back down that AB was looking for. So that's your, I like this here. Now if we get a retracement back up into this candle, we have two fair value gaps that form. If we get back up into here, just touch that old low and continuation for the rest of the day. Look for downside over here. So we've run up to that objective today, and now look for a run back down again to the lows, and 3.5, or 2.5, depending on which one you guys are looking at. How do you guys pull your fib tool? Do you guys add, do you start at 1 from here, or do you start the first one at 1? I think most people start it. I think even Michael starts at 1 here, then 2, then 3. Heading to the zoo today, San Diego Zoo, pretty popular spot. Yesterday's weather being iffy caused us to delay till today. Have a great day. I'll bring NQ down 100 handles if you would. Okay, agree, no TGIF today. Wish I was going to be around for the close. Yeah, it looks like we're going to bring her back down for you, Derek, for the date. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful time over at San Diego Zoo. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy every experience you can with your son. Sounds like a great time. We'll see you on Monday. So we are looking for Let's make this a little bigger so it looks nicer. Premium discount. Where do we get in here? %, puts us right on there. So this little box, let's draw a little box right here. Close these guys out. There's a lot of chaff here now. Minute, we have a fair value gap here. I think that's going to be it for me today, you guys. I got my vindication at the end. I got the walk away with some pride today. Even though it was didn't walk away with some cash, we did walk away for some pride. Hit perfectly on our spot. And now you're looking for potential retracement for the rest of the day. So I think I'm going to close it out right here. And wish you guys a very safe and happy weekend. Keep your powder dry. Don't go too crazy this morning. You don't want to go into the weekend feeling like you're a loss or you've had a loss. Not a good feeling to go into that weekend with. So hold on to your profits. And I will see you guys on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. All the best to all of you. Remember, be nice to each other. Be kind to each other. If you can help people out there, it's incumbent as a human being to do that and help people out. Be kind to each other. I love you all. Thank you so much for any of the new subscribers here today. Again, if you like what we did today, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed and you would like to, please feel free. You can pop in also to our Telegram channel. I do post these videos on X. Oh, I don't go in X very often. And on Facebook. I have a Facebook channel as well. Not that any of you really want to go there, but it's an old dinosaur platform. But you're welcome to pop in. And thanks again for all those of you who have subscribed. And oh, we got Derek saying 17. He's popped in one more time. He's like Lauriston. 17,466. 2 standards. And I'm off. 17,466. So he calls that 2 standards. Okay, yeah. So he does 2 standards here, and that's that would be 3 for me. But 2 would be right back to where Derek is. It puts you below that low. Let's hope he gets that for the day. Appreciate you all. D, great work again. Thank you. Thank you. Love you all. Have a great weekend.